This is WVUA News with special championship week coverage from Alabama's home team.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks, live in New Orleans. Philip Coleman will join us in just a moment. We are counting down the days to the big rematch between Bama and LSU. That is only 4 days away, and your home team is all over this one. In fact, the Tide took their first practice inside the Superdome today. Guess who was there? Our very own Gary Harris. Here's his story.
Alabama getting its first opportunity to practice in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome on Thursday afternoon. The Crimson Tide in full pads. A lively, spirited practice that's going on right behind me. In fact, the game is only 4 days away now, and you can tell listening to these Alabama players, they are ready for it to get here.
Our coaches have done a great job. We got the best coaching staff in the country by far. Coach Saban's led us to 2 national championships out of the past 3 years. And at the end of the day, it's a game of football. You got to have some luck go your way. But I felt like our team has done a great job preparing.
For us to be, at this situation now that we in, and we just love, being the underdogs, and we love that being a team that, that nobody want to see in the championship, and that put a big chip on our shoulder and tell them, hey, we're going to show them why, or we're going to prove why that we should be in this game.
It'll be here on Monday night. The Alabama players biting at the bit to get back out on the field and play LSU a second time and get some redemption, and in the process win a national championship. More on the Crimson Tide coming up later in Home Team Sports.
And thanks a lot, Gary. Later on in Alabama's Home Team Sports, much more BCS National Championship coverage, including some great interviews. You will want to stick around for that. In the time being, 2 well-known quarterbacks, one from Alabama, one from LSU, are here in the Big Easy sharing their passion not only for football, but also for food. Former Crimson Tide quarterback Ken Stabler and former LSU quarterback Burt Jones joining forces to support the Gulf Coast. The two were side by side today as they cut a big 30-foot sandwich. And you want to know what the sandwich is called? It's the Peacemaker Po' Boy. And why, you might ask, is it news for people to slice into a sandwich? Well, here's why. What they're doing is that they're showing that Gulf seafood is safe to eat and helping boost tourism after the Gulf oil spill. We spoke with Ken Stabler, who told us that the city of New Orleans really has a special place in his heart for so many reasons.
We played with the Raiders here and won in the Dome, and we played here with the Saints for 3 years and played for the great people of New Orleans in 82, 3, 4, and had a lot of great memories of this city, connected to football, connected to food, and I don't know that one sticks out. You get a bunch of great memories.
And the company that was held responsible for the Gulf oil spill, BP, is sponsoring that big tourism push. And several well-known people getting behind that, including Louisiana's own governor, and several famous chefs from right here in the city of New Orleans. All this week, Alabama's home team is taking you all around the Crescent City, showing you some of the hot spots. And for you history buffs, here's one that is really going to resonate with you. The National World War II Museum is right here in the Big Easy. And when you walk through the doors, some individuals who fought for our country will be the ones there to greet you. WVUA's Matt McCoy has their story.
It opened its doors in 2000, and in just 12 short years, it went from being the D-Day Museum to being appointed by Congress to being the national recognized World War II Museum. It has features for food, entertainment, transportation. Now, all alongside the outside of the building, there's bricks signifying those who fought during the war. And those bricks lead right up to a door that you're greeted with a World War II veteran who shares his story.
It was a day when we were fighting for 3 hours because the first wave that came in was about 187 planes. And then there was about a 15-minute lull, and then another 287 planes hit us. And when that was over, it was a day when we were trying to save as many people as we could.
But this veteran story isn't the only one you'll hear at the World War II Museum. In fact, there are close to 3,500 stories told from the veterans themselves hidden away in their vaults. Reporting in New Orleans, Matt McCoy, WVUA News.
The National World War II Museum coming up for you tonight on WVUA News at 10, including some amazing survival stories. Matt McCoy will have that for you tonight at 10 o'clock. Well, there are all kinds of places where you can watch the game if you're one of those many Bama fans who are coming to New Orleans, but you don't have one of those really pricey tickets. And we sent our own WVUA reporter, Bradley Whittington, to find out where is the top spot to watch that game.
So I'm here at the Rusty Nail in the Big Easy. According to NOLA.com, it's the 4th best place to watch the BCS National Championship game. Now, if you're a Bama fan, you might think it's the #1 place to watch the game. Now we're going to head inside and find out what makes this place one of the top 4 to watch Bama and LSU. So I'm here with the owner, David, of Rusty Nail. Now, David, what makes this bar so special to Bama fans?
Well, it's about the only place in town where you can go and be around other Bama fans, and you know it feels like home to them. So I think just a comfort level, it makes it really special to them.
So this destination is not just for Bama fans this weekend. It's for Bama fans all throughout the year. Talk about that and what you guys do throughout the year.
That's right. We host game viewing parties every week. We have people that drive from all over to come experience it with us from Mobile. We have several people come every week from Mobile. And, you know, we play music during the commercials. We play the fight song. We play Ramba Jammer. It's a great experience, and I think that's why people keep coming back.
So what's the reason behind, why is this the Bama destination? What's the reason behind it?
I graduated from Alabama in '99. One of our other owners also graduated from Alabama. And we opened 5 years ago. And about 2 years ago, I just got the alumni book out and started emailing people in the area, and there are a ton of Alabama alum in New Orleans, and more than I even knew. And I just sent out emails every week, and little by little it grew and grew and grew, and this is kind of the crescendo this weekend. So
you guys are doing a big block party this weekend, I understand, for Bama fans?
We have got the permits to block off the street outside. We're also using our parking lot to house a 10-foot big screen TV. We're bringing in 150 extra seats to accommodate as many people as we can.
All right. So if you're a Bama fan, you come into town, you're probably not going to feel as welcome being here, the home of the Louisiana LSU. But if you want to get around some good friends of Bama fans, come down to the Rusty Nail. Reporting from the Rusty Nail, I'm Bradley Whittington for WVUA News.
We've got lots more live coverage from New Orleans later on the news at 6. In the meantime, we're also going to have some big stories back home in Tuscaloosa. 3 people have been arrested in connection with a shooting in broad daylight. Police say they are searching for even more suspects. That story on the way for you. Also, WVUA Sports Director Gary Harris will have the latest from the big practice for the Alabama Crimson Tide from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. That's in Home Team Sports. In the meantime, a look at one of the street artists in the Big Easy. Much more coverage from New Orleans ahead for you here on WVUA News at 6.
On your home team crime watch, a shooting in Tuscaloosa in broad daylight. According to police, this happened around 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Laundry Nook on Skyland Boulevard. Sergeant Brent Blankley told WVUA after an investigation it was determined it was a drug deal that went bad. Blankley says they have taken 3 people into custody and have also found guns in their vehicle. But authorities are also searching for other suspects in another vehicle. Officials say no one was injured. And also on your crime watch, the search for a robbery suspect. Tuscaloosa police say this happened Wednesday at the Roadway Inn on Skyland Boulevard. Authorities say the suspect came up from behind an employee working at the front desk and demanded money. When the employee ran away, the suspect fled the scene. If you have any information, call Tuscaloosa County Crime Stoppers at 752-STOP. Now let's head back to Lynn Brooks, who joins us once again live from New Orleans.
WVUA News at 6. How's the weather looking in Tuscaloosa and New Orleans? We'll have Alabama's home team forecast coming up for you. Also, lots more live coverage from here in the Crescent City. Maybe some of it noisy when we come back.
Now, the Tuscaloosa Chevrolet Sports Update with WVUA's Gary Harris.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to New Orleans. It's been a busy, busy day for us here, your home team in the Big Easy. It started bright and early this morning when several Alabama offensive football players, along with offensive coordinator Jim McElwain, met with reporters here at the Media Hotel. The other group was busy with individual interviews. So one group was at a press conference, the other doing individual interviews, and they swapped. Coach McElwain is leaving Alabama just as soon as the BCS game is over to attend to his new duties as head coach at Colorado State. In the meantime, he's really pulling a little bit of double duty, preparing Alabama's offense for the national championship game and also doing some recruiting and talking to coaches about putting a staff together at Colorado State. So he is mixing them well, but he says right now his complete focus is on the Tide.
It's been a challenge, but I think as these guys can attest, our focus since I left there has been, for this ball game. And what I try to do is late at night make the calls and catch up. Coach Saban has been unbelievable, a help because he went through kind of the same thing when he took the Michigan State job when he was with the Browns.
Obviously is going to be the play of quarterback A.J. McCarron. He needs to play better than he did the first time around. He didn't play bad, but he needs to play better. And he is an exuberant, emotional type of kid, and that's the way that he was playing early in the season. You'll remember that Florida game? Nick Saban could be seen on the sidelines telling him to calm down, calm down. Saban was worried about him getting too emotional, too carried away, and not keeping his cool. Well, his play dropped off a little bit. He says Coach came back to him and said, that's all right, pick it up a notch, go ahead and show the emotion. He says he's better when he lets it all hang out.
During the Florida game, when I was getting the crowd going, and Coach told me to calm down. And then after the LSU game, he told me to play with emotion again, that he missed that. So, I definitely got to come out, play with emotion this game, like I always do. Just play my game.
Whatever make him comfortable, man. That's one thing he like to do is play with emotion and keep us going and make sure that he's yelling at us on the sideline. We come on the sideline and tell us everything going to be okay. Don't get down, and we'll get the play back. That's what he do, and that's what quarterbacks do for real. And if you ever see a quarterback, they all into the game.
The Alabama football team practiced inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome for the first time this afternoon. Coach Nick Saban looking for a third BCS national championship. It'll be second with Alabama. Of course, he's got one with LSU. A.J. McCarron, as we mentioned, he's going to be a key. He's going to have to make some plays in the passing game. That LSU defense just too good if you let them crowd the line of scrimmage and bottle up the run. Running back, speaking of them going through their drills, Jalston Fowler, he might get a few carries. Still not sure if Eddie Lacy's 100%. Trent Richardson back up dealing with the turf toe. Defensively, the Tide can't play much better than they did the first time against LSU, but Coach Saban does expect the Tigers to change some things this time around.
See what kind of changes they've made and what they've done for the remainder of the season, as well as what they've done prior to that. In terms of in bowl games when you have this much time to prepare, it's not unusual to see something a little bit different. So we did learn a lot from that game in terms of things that we could do better, and that's something that we certainly tried to focus to improve on.
As the higher-ranked team, LSU got to practice in the morning at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Les Miles and company seemed to get after it pretty good. The Honey Badger, wearing number 24, that's his buddy Thorold Simon's number. They swapped numbers. Simon was wearing number 7, having a little fun with the cameras, I guess. Both teams will hold full practices inside the Dome again tomorrow. Now, while Alabama's offense met with the media, it was the LSU defense that took its turn in front of reporters. Defensive coordinator John Chavis said the Tigers have a lot of assets, but the biggest one on D is their team speed.
We need all the luck we can get from time to time, and I say that jokingly, but our guys do a great job. They play hard, they play fast, and certainly we even going back to the Oregon game, that was a big factor in terms of us having the kind of success with the speed of our defense.
Definitely facing a great team, in all three phases of the game, so we look at it from this standpoint. Our playmakers, the guys who lead this team, are definitely going to have to step up, and play their best football, you know, and put our team in position, you know, to win this game.
Tomorrow is a huge day here in New Orleans. It's Media Day. Alabama and LSU will take their entire rosters and all the coaches to the Superdome. We will have access to each team for 1 hour. We can interview anybody we want about anything we want to ask them about. So that's coming up tomorrow. Tonight at 10, much more on today's festivities. Plus, the Alabama women's basketball team in action tonight at Foster Auditorium. We'll have those highlights as well. I'll see you tonight at 10.